All right, welcome to the fourth and final game of the evening. Up this time is Super Ember Kaboom. Super Ember Kaboom is a fast-paced, cute, and colorful action game. It has tight controls and is simple to learn. Difficult to master gameplay that makes each level a joy to run through. Um, Super Ember Kaboom is a fast-paced, cute, and colorful action game. Grimoire, the so-called world's greatest magician, has captured the elemental spirits. Without their protection, dangerous monsters have appeared, and the world is being thrown into chaos. Run, roll, walk, kick, and tailspin your way through Grimoire's armies. Rescue spirits and use their magic to power up. Yeah, so this is an action platform game of the pixel variety. And how do I put this into oblique, yet for this show insulting terms? I know exactly how. This game would be at home at Rodalikia. Yeah. And for those who might not know what that statement means, so the game plays fine. It plays fine, but that's about it. Because this, I can say that the problem with this game is it never evolves. It'll remix, but it's like this, like what you see in the early game stage is pretty much what you'll see throughout the entire game in terms of enemies and level design. You'll note that the level design here is very square. Everything is, even for a platformer, very tiled. And
barring some of the cosmetic bits.
Right. And it's got that Rodalikia amorphous, faux retro style going on here, even though this game looks better than a typical game they would either publish or develop. Yeah. But it's all just so flat. And I don't just mean like the jumping challenges. The game just never gets out of first gear. And that really, it's so dull. When, the biggest change up in terms of gameplay is when they do an obscuring gimmick, like once per level. Like, instead of being able to see things as you normally would, it's like, oh, everything's silhouetted in like pink or white, which does provide a bit more of a challenge, but not that much. Yeah, and the gameplay is fairly basic. The moves there are basically what Ember, this Tanuki, can do. Or I'm trying to, it's like Ember is the Tanuki. I'm trying to remember like Blaze or Kaboom. Like, I'm trying to remember the fire spirit's name. But like, that's kind of my summation of the game. This looks good, but is wholly unmemorable in terms of gameplay. But you will get a number of powers. You got fire. You got ice. They do what fire and ice do. And there's light, which kind of a blasting thing. The photosensitivity warning there, and there's gale, which sucked because it's a running power and it didn't work all that well. And like, the bosses were there; they're not too difficult. Even the final boss, the final boss's final form, was mildly challenging at that. And this is all a shame because the game looks pretty good. that's the thing. It looks pretty good. It plays competently, but once again, it doesn't rise to anything higher than that. Like, all of the level design is the same, no matter what the world is. And sometimes they'll repeat the same world design, level design in the same world, but they might, or another world, but they might change a few things up. Like, this game has a live system, and I don't know why they did that, because the game's so easy, like, you'll barely die, and death is a slap on the wrist. It's just one of those anachronisms that's just there for the sake of being there, because old school games had that. But this game doesn't have the challenge chops to really warrant a live system. And unfortunately, this is the worst kind of game to talk about. The thoroughly uninteresting game. It's not bad. It's not particularly good. It's so okay. It's average. And, like, even with the bad games we reviewed this week, or, the bad porting, there's something there to talk about. There's just nothing here that you haven't seen in 1,000 other platforming games, and you won't see in another 1,000 platforming games, maybe done with more flair or interest. Any sort of creative spark was really done in the art, like the actual aesthetics of the game, and not the actual gameplay, which is where things really count. And I don't want to be that dour on this game, but it's there. Also, you'll be done with this in about 2 to 3 hours. So just keep that on to things. In terms of pricing, seems to be a theme this week at $7. No, I really like. Maybe if it came in at $2 or $3, maybe, but $7, like, I'd go and look for something more substantial, which there is plenty of stuff on Steam alone. We covered, like, get a Shantae game, or Shovel Knight, or Axiom Verge, or Dead Cells, Hollow Knight. This is just off the top of the head. And these are like just the mega indie games. And yeah, I guess that's about all I have to say about Super Ember Kaboom. Disappointing. Any questions on the game?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, not really. It does remind me of the Ratalaika games I reviewed, honestly.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh well. So sometimes that just comes across the desk. Anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for this installment of the Fragments Silicon review. So the week ahead. Right. Unfortunately, we just got a last-minute cancellation. Apparently, our guest has to do a work presentation early on this Thursday, so had to bow out. So, and this is just kind of an occupational hazard.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
we're not under any impression that I have an interview for a podcast is going to be highest priority that won't ever get bumped on people's schedules.
Especially when they have to do it for, actual work.
Right.
I'm not sure if that was day job work or the game kind of work, but either way, it's it's definitely something higher than our program, which is why we have the Let's Play Heaven Salt series.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll be doing part 11. I know sometimes it can go months without doing a installment. This is the thing we do when we don't have a guest. And I'm like, could I wrangle a guest? It's possible, but in a day, very unlikely. And I'll be honest, I'm at the point where I don't really like to try this close to a show. It's not just finding a guest. It's about, I got to learn their stuff. And, that takes a bit of time. So, anyway, so more Heaven's Vault this week. No Friday show. I believe that also got pushed off to next season. once again, due to like if something gets pushed off, it's usually due to family issues, life issues, death issues. That's happened a couple of times this season, unfortunately. But yeah, and we will be having the season finale of Moonhawk Studios Presents this Wednesday. So look for that. And that's going on break this week. We got 2 more shows in this season and 1 more review session before we go on break. MSP will be on break for 3 weeks, and Fragments Silicon will be going on break for 2 weeks. So all of our programming will be returning in late August.
Okay.
Yeah, but until Wednesday, I shall wish you good gaming.